Hello, everybody. It's me, RDV, and I'm with. Wait. You're not Zach. Oh,
No, I'm not. I'm his twin brother, Skip. What's going on?
evil twin brother. It took a spot. What was that? Bear claws? Cat?
Yeah, I guess it is bear. I am from California, and that is our
Well,
well,
Northern
one of our
California.
animals. Our state. Wait, no, our state animal is the bear, but our state bird is the quail. I don't know. It's weird.
I thought the state bird was just like New York, and you just flip somebody off.
Oh no, no.
That's
Californians are much more laid back and nicer than the average New Yorker.
I'm sorry. That must be only people around LA traffic.
Oh yeah, well, LA traffic that's not even California. That's its own world.
All right. Now, Ash, it hasn't been more than a minute. If you've been on the reefer, it just feel like it's probably take a couple while. Wait. So basically, if you're high, it does take like more than a minute. So maybe that's why.
Maybe.
Now that I think about that, but anyway, so we're here to talk about not drugs, obviously. We're here to talk about comic books. We're talking about what's coming out. Well, some of the books came out today, some are going to come out tomorrow. So what we do in here is we take the top 5. We take the 5 books each from our pull list. I mean, we don't necessarily each have to have 5. It's usually like good to have 5 because we're called top 5, but whatever. And basically we're deciding what we think is going to be the best books coming out this week. And well, with that being said, I'll share my screen and I'll let you take it away by going first.
All right. So, well, actually, do you want to do it the other way around? You want me to share my screen so I could just have so you don't have to search for them?
Yeah, if you want to do that, go ahead. Sure. I don't care.
All right. Let me actually make sure that mine are appearing right now. Okay, they are. All right. I can actually do this time. Now let's see if share screen's going to work for me.
This is scripted, by the way. We're totally not unprofessional. We're professional.
Oh, yeah. Completely professional. Okay, StreamYard. Nope. I don't think it's going to let me do it. It's going to look weird. All right, let me know if you could see.
All right. No.
What about now?
There it goes.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So
we're just showing all your books, though. We're supposed to do a countdown. I guess we'll just try to guess which order they're in.
Yeah, because you won't know, will you? Nope. All right. So book number 1, or really book number 5. So book number 5 is going to be Astronaut Down by Aftershock Comics. So I can click on it, give you guys a view. This is written by James Patrick, art by Rubin. This is a book that there's a certain individual named Bunkmaster B. So shout out to Bunkmaster B. And I met him online and in the comics community, and we just started going back and forth. One of us will pick a book, we'll read the book through, and then another person will pick a book, and then we'll read the book through, and then we just talk about it like in DMs on Discord. So he really likes James Patrick, who is also the author for Kaiju Score and Kaiju Score 2, Still from the Gods. Some of y'all may have heard us talk about those books. Ash and Zach have definitely spoken about those books before on various live streams. This is issue number 3. It's an interesting series. I'll be honest, I don't love the art. It's not that it's bad art, but I don't love it. It doesn't tend to have a whole lot of spirit to it. Kind of feels a little sterile, but it's not bad. And the concept of the story is fairly interesting, dealing with kind of like conscience travel in a way. And, if you are, I guess kind of dealing with the multiverse type of stuff again, but if you inhabit the body of another you and another time and place, what's different, what's the same, and how do you adjust to those things when you're there? But it's cool. It's an astronaut type thing, kind of a mission for one thing, to save our world. We got to send people out on this experimental mission. Of course, that mission does not go as planned, and this person is stuck there still trying to accomplish the mission, and knowing that likely he will not make his way home. So Astronaut number 3 from Aftershock Comics is
also we're sponsored by Chips Ahoy.
1,000 chips delicious.
I know. I want some cookies now. All right. I'll go back over to mine. Oh, cool. I can just switch like that. That's easy.
There you
Cool.
go.
All right. Number 5 is Vampirilla. This is Fairy Tales. This is written for the first time by normally a cover artist and a variant cover artist, Sue Lee. She is also, ironically, there's also a Red Sonja book coming out this week. Is also called Red Sonja Fairy Tales, and she is doing the cover art on that as well, but not the interior. But but this is I'm taking a shot at this. It's like she's it's her first time writing credit as far as I know. I've never seen her write anything. She's just slowly come into the scene doing the covers for variant covers for Vampirilla and Red Sonja. This is like Vampirilla is Red Riding Hood, pretty much. It says, once upon a time, there was a cottage deep in the forest where an elder lived, eagerly waiting the arrival of her granddaughter. With wine and cake, not knowing the horrid fanged beast that stalks the forest seeking easy prey. But little does this fanged beast realize that the granddaughter has fangs of her own.
Oh boy.
I know, right? Yeah, and then Jonathan Lau does a variant cover as well. Now Emma Amelia Liana Pina or Pena, I've heard it both ways. I'm not sure if this person what the person in the interior is like. I've never read their stuff before or seen anything that they're involved with. So I'm just, like I said, it's interesting. I like these different like Elseworld takes on Vampirilla and Red Sonja. I mean, Sonja Versla had some cool stuff. I got to see steampunk like Vampirilla and steampunk Red Sonja again. That was kind of cool. So yeah, hopefully this turns out to be good because right now I've never been I like Fables, but only in like a moderation. So to me, this being like a one shot, I'll see how it mashed up because it'd be kind of cool if they did a Vampirilla Big Big Wolf. Like I'd be up for that. Collab like that.
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, I don't think we'll ever get that. It's probably closer to get, and hopefully it doesn't turn out to be like Once Upon a Time, the show.
I never saw that.
And that show went straight up, like I guess woke towards the end of it. That's what I've been told.
Okay.
Yeah, so like this went really, really like went from quality to being like just pandering. But yeah, this is my number 5. Hopefully she writes just as good as she draws, and it's I said I'm paying $5 though. It's $1 more than I usually would pay. It's usually $3.99 for these, and you're getting like 32 pages. So I'm paying $1 more for like 40 pages. So I'm really, really hoping it's good. It's a new writer, and like I said, hopefully it turns out to be well.
Yeah, it was that. So is this along the same lines of that Red Sonja Fairy Tales book that I saw y'all talking about before?
This is the only one I've heard of. Yeah, this is Fairy Tales. I think I might have been talking about this book actually a couple weeks ago.
Well, it was that one where like Red Sonja was climbing the tree, and I thought it had said Fairy Tales below.
Yeah. That's out this week too. She's Jack the Beanstalk. She's going to kill the giant.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So like I said, like because we've been reading. Zach and I have been following Immortal Red Sonja, which is basically like a cross between King Arthur and Red Sonja. Where she's wearing a chainmail, where the spirit of Red Sonja. What's his name? King Arthur is in the chainmail. So, and she can't get off until she has to go find Merlin. She's traveling with him, and he keeps giving her bad directions. So they're arguing back and forth. Now she has a sword. I think she's carrying Excalibur.
Okay.
And she can't go to the sword. He's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, if you use the sword for evil, there's the curse, will cause, you more grief. And she's like, well, screw this. Throw the sword away. It comes right back. It's kind of like the mask, we try to throw the mask away.
Yeah, tries to get rid of it.
Yeah, so
yeah.
she can't. She's like, I didn't sign up for this curse. Nobody told me the fine print. I think that's Dan Abnett writing that. I'm not I could be wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've been really into the comedy kind of stuff. You know, Dynamite's been really doing that with their Dynamite Lives. You know, Dynamite Never Dies. This one they wrapped up. So I'm always looking for more Vampirilla stuff because I've been going back through some of the Dynamite stuff. Some of it's hit and miss when they do the crossovers, but so crossing his fingers, my fingers, it's not going to be like full on like Mary Sue.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Because we get that sometimes with Mark Russell. We got that with some of these other writers. It just gets to the point where they don't understand the character and they use the character for pandering. And I've seen that before. And I'm just like, keep that in Marvel and DC. Get that out of my other stuff, you know. The Dynamite is starting to, and then they're teetering with the writers. So, all right. So that's my number. Let's go back to yours, I guess.
All right. Can you just put it back on mine, or do I got to click something?
I can click it as long as you're on your next book.
Yep. All right.
Boom! Look at that professionalism here, guys.
Hey, I'm on it. Yeah, there's something wrong with Patrick Todd #2. There was a pretty interesting issue #1. Kind of the concept is the person, Patrick Todd, has an ability to like have influence and in a sense can control people, or at least a person at a time, and make them do what they want. And it was interesting. He had taken someone who was like a pedophile and made them go and rob the bank, and then give him the money, and then say like, okay, hey, now you're gonna stay right here and you're gonna confess to not just the bank, because we know what your even worse crime is. You're going to confess to, your deep, dark secrets. And then we didn't know until, the cop came and asked him, and he's like, oh yeah, I robbed the bank. And, said that he was a pedophile as well. So it was really,
is this like is this one of those books where they basically, they're doing it to multiple people that are doing this, different people?
I don't know if he can do it to multiple people at a time, because so far we've only seen him have that influence over one person at a time. But
because I've seen that before, like that trope before. If you ever watch, I think it was called Phone Booth. Kiefer Sutherland did that. He'd like target people that were like the guilty of the crimes, and it'd basically get them to confess, or he'd shoot them.
yeah, I've heard of different things. This is definitely a trope that we've seen. I mean, in 2022, if you're over the age of 30, you've seen it quite a few times. And there's nothing so far that I can say has made it so different from, many other times. But what has been keeping me into the book, aside from the art, and the artist is a guy named Gavin Goudry, who's a buddy of mine. And then writing with Ed Brisson, who I didn't know Ed Brisson started off as a letterer in comics. But the main thing that's keeping me is like the motivations of the person who is robbing the banks. It is one of those things where, doing the wrong thing for the right cause. And I won't say exactly what that is, but in the midst of that, and him having, I really want to spoil it, because even just now I'm remembering how compelling it was, because he is very strong in his abilities to do this, but he is helpless in the other situation that he's trying to support by having people going and rob the banks. He's like completely helpless, and it's very frustrating to him. And that frustration gets passed on to us as readers, watching him do this feat and, being so strong and so powerful in it, and then going and seeing him, on the other side where he's weak, and for all of his might, he cannot just snap his fingers and fix the situation. So it's pretty compelling. They did a really good job at building tension. Very clean lines from Gavin. I'm not just boosting him because he's my friend. It's one thing when, like, you always want to support people that but when it's not so good, you're still like, oh, I'm still going to support you, but I can, to my own credibility, I can only praise it so much. But no, I've like sit and watched Gavin just get better and better and better. So you take his very clean lines, and he's pretty good with like perspectives and stuff. He moves the camera around. He's still a young artist, but he's doing good. But then you take Chris O'Halloran, who's the colorist of Ice Cream Man and Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, and you put his colors into it. They are a very, very, very good team together. So if you're just looking for a different kind of story that's got some really clean art, interesting, and Aftershock, the quality of their books, I would say give this book a shot.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking for these books, man. You recognize Paradise, so I'm already on the second volume.
Yeah, no, man. When I saw that message that you're reading through Paradiso like that, I was like, yes, get into it.
And I'm going. Like I said, that's another book you got to go slow with too, because I was looking all the art, the background stuff, and just like,
oh yeah, it's a world, man. Like, I forget what Prominix's first name is, but like,
it's dark. Ooh. It's not Darwin, but it starts with a D though, isn't it? Is it like a?
It is, yeah. It's like
Declan.
It's Dev something.
Devlin.
I think it might be Devlin. I think it's Devlin Prominic. But yeah, like incredible artist in that world. The way that he drew all of those things is incredible. I wish it was still coming out right now because it would be on my pull list. Like
I saw that there was real quickly. We'll jump on to the next book, but I saw that there was there was another book as far as like between the books. It was a hiatus. It went from like 2017. It's like, wait till next year, guys. It's like, what? That would have killed me. It's like that's because that's the thing with Lazarus right now. It's like it's been 2 years now, bro. When's the next one? I understand COVID. You can only use that excuse for so long. It's like, are you just done? Just let me know. Then I'll just quit looking for, see if it's coming out or not. I'll just ignore it, whatever.
Exactly.
But, number 4, DCeased, War of the Undead Gods. Now, the reason this is higher up on my list and not further down below towards the bottom, towards the number 1 spot, it's because it's Tom Taylor, and you're on your third volume. Your third, you're not volume, but your third continuation, your third series in a series. And the last one was kind of like mid compared to the first one.
Okay.
I'm and I also partially because it's not I guess I can't attribute this to Tom. It's not his problem. I was reading Deceased Vampires, and I saw that, and I saw the same characters being killed off again, and then it just started getting bad towards the end. So that kind of put a sour taste in my mouth for like Elseworld stuff.
Okay.
But I'm like, now after all the event stuff, we got all the new heroes. We got Cassie's a new Wonder Girl. We got Damian as Batman. We got Jonathan up there as Superman, and then we got Black Canary as Green Lantern because Helga Jordan is dead. They just found a cure for everybody, so now it looks like we got all the undead gods. We got Thanos, man. Not Thanos. Darkseid. They're the same villain. Who cares anymore? It's like, one's got light lasers, the other one doesn't.
You sound so much like a casual comics fan right now. Oh my God.
I can point out that the fact that those two are pretty much like we're meant to be like copies of each other.
Yeah.
They're like, who's the big bad guy? Oh, okay, it's Darkseid. Who's the big bad guy in Marvel? It's always been Thanos because he's like just that. Like, who else is taking out the Avengers single-handedly and just almost crushed them and did Finnegan and stuff? But then just like Darkseid, they've pretty much turned these characters into like they're no longer like threats anymore. They're just kind of like, oh, we can be beat on multiple times now. That's the problem when you have you're the big bad guy and he gets beat like, okay, now you're 5-0. It's like, what? But like I said, I'm just hoping it doesn't towards the end of this, it doesn't start going into becoming this like bland. He doesn't start throwing some pandering, because Tom has been known to be a supporter for the SJWs and there's the woke crowd and stuff like that, and just putting in like propaganda and stuff in there. There was a little bit in the last one with the penguin and stuff like that, saying how the rich people are bad, they're all elite, and if you didn't like them. I'm hoping we just get an awesome wrap up and just get like and just like insane like crazy moments of battle stuff. Because this is like Dark Side, and then it says here like it says what began as a battle for the Earth has become a war for the galaxy as a epic final chapter in the massive DCeased franchise is here. The emergence of a reborn undead Darkseid, because he has the anti-equations still in him.
Yeah, right.
That planet, in DCeased planet sets the stage for the most devastating conflict for yet. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the anti-equation spreads into the cosmos. The survivors of the Earth prepare for the coming apocalypse and realize their only hope could lie in the most powerful surviving hero from the DCeased series. So, like I said, I guess the last 8 issues is just them taking on Darkseid, because they had found the cure and they were actually curing some of the people towards the end. So I know this is spoilers for people who haven't read the series, but you've had how many years now? It's like I said, and Andy Lanning's on here doing some inking on here too, so I'm always supporting Andy.
Okay,
I like his stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of people in here. Alfred's alive too. Bruce isn't, but Alfred is.
Oh yeah, because it's a different universe.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But it throws you out there. It's like, wait, DCeased, are they all dead? No, no. Yeah. Diana was one of they actually were trying to cure towards the end of the second volume.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this is a way to do a book as far as legacy characters. Because look at them, and this is basically. I know people don't like legacy characters, but I've been enjoying this. Damian stepping up, being Batman. Jonathan Wayne, there's no hint of him being bisexual or any of that stuff. That's all in the main universe. So I don't know if that's going to come into play now, because what happened in the main universe with Tom Taylor and all that stuff. But even if it does, as long as it's at the freaking focal point, like obviously it's like, hey, let's meet my boyfriend. Like, dude, we're in the middle of a war. Still, I don't want that crap. Just give me like what we want. Give me a book where I can just escape, go into a fantasy world, and not have to deal with all the real life crap that's going on today. But
absolutely,
yeah, like I said, this is up in the air. Let me read the first issue or two, and then I'll decide if I want to continue. But I know some people are like, oh, when they see like like, well, I love this character and I love this person is writing. It's like, it's literally number one. But I'm always skeptical, because I'm like, I'll wait till and reserve my judgment until after I read it. So hopefully, like I said, it's in the top 5. It's at number 4. So hopefully it does well.
It is very much in the top 5. Speaking of 5, Ash on Comics number 5 book is Space Lady number 2. And thanks for reminding me, Ash, because I'm actually going to look for Space Lady number 1 at my shop, my main shop. Because they often have a bit. On the channel, yeah.
I want to read it too.
Might be interesting. They often buy a good amount of Behemoth comics at the shop by my house, so I'm going to look at if I can find issue number 1, I'll grab issue number 2. And Zach has Predator number 1 as his 5th book. Ash on Comics has Sandman number 1 as his 4th book, and I have questions about that Netflix version of it. And then Zach has number 4 is 007 number 1. I'll throw the question out real quick. It says the Netflix copy is free. It must be digital, right? Or did they just ship a bunch of copies to comic shops to hand out?
You know what I think it is? I think it just has the Netflix cover advertising the show, but I think it's actually like the very first issue of Sandman from back in the day.
Yeah, I know it is for sure, because when you go and you click on it on Comixology, it will reference the very first the original number 1 that came out in '89. I'm thinking it says $0 on it though.
Yes, I think it'll probably be people giving probably for free, or like I said, I have to pay 50 cents for it. I pay 50 cents or $1 for a lot of the other books, so why not this?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, if it was $1, I would still buy it. I buy those Image first. a
Yep.
lot. And then when people buy books from me, or if it's friends that, I'm sending books to, I'll
Slip it
just
in
slip
there.
an image first in there. So yeah, and I noticed also it does not say DC or DC Black Label. It says Vertigo as the publisher when you look at it. Anywho.
P.S. Ash is no way recommending Space Lady.
It's fair.
I mean, number 2, the description we were reading last night, and like, she's forced to go undercover, drink, smoke, and gamble. I was like, now I want to read this. I want to see, because all right. Uh-oh. Are you set yet?
I am. Yep.
Okay. All
So
right.
my number 3, you probably already see it on the screen.
Yep.
It is Blade Runner Black Lotus number 1. After watching the stream last night, I think it's called Late Night Comics, right? With you and Ash talking about the boys.
The boys talking about boys.
Yeah. So I don't
know.
Boys talking about the boys.
It's better than the boys on boys.
Or is it?
Oh.
Rawhide Kid, or
hey, I don't judge out loud.
I don't judge out loud. I won't tell if you don't.
Don't ask, don't tell me.
Don't tell and don't ask. But Blade Runner Black Lotus number 1. I heard y'all talking about it more and more, and I had thought, back to when Ash and I were reading Blade Runner, and then me reading Blade Runner Origins. I ended up dropping off of it, but I realized I was only getting 3 books before we did this stream, and I said, there's some room for me to get a few others. And I did hear people speak somewhat favorably about the show. Blade Runner, or excuse me, the Sandman show got me reading Sandman again, and I was like, why don't I just continue the trend? I'll just buy the issue number 1, and then I'll have it kind of carry over to the show and see if I can just ride it out like that. So I decided to get Blade Runner, Black Lotus issue number 1, because I enjoyed all the rest of the series. While I was reading them.
There's a movie they released that's available to watch on YouTube. It's prior to this. I forgot what it's called, but it ties into the show, and then the show basically is set like 5 years or 10 years later after that. I think so watch that, and I decided watch the show. If you have Crunchyroll, that sounds so weird saying that. I hate that name. Crunchyroll. It's like, you guys talking about food again? Wrinkled Smakies entered the chat. No, the show was pretty good. Now here's the thing. There's people who, it's just Titans. Titans did a thing and adapted the Netflix series of the other anime that both are, or I guess what I'm trying to say is that the book before this was a 4-issue miniseries. It got canceled. That was the one book that you and I were both reading that was called by Bebop. And compared to the Netflix show, I thought it was actually a lot better. They took away the whole Julia part, and they made the book better. Sadly, though, the book didn't sell so well, so it was canceled by the 4th issue, and it gave it a wrap up. I'm hoping that in the same spirit of this, the people who maybe didn't like this show will pick up this book, and maybe it actually draws them in.
Right.
And then, like I said, because I really love a lot of Titan stuff. Titan usually does the crime and the nowhere stuff. So I'm hoping it continues, because I would hate to see Titan comics, the books go away. Like it's a cool publisher.
Yeah, they've been doing my favorite licensed books recently. And their paper quality is usually very good. They use like good, thick quality paper. I've been enjoying Titan. I really enjoy the age of indie comics that we're in right now. With we got Aftershock, we got Titan, we got Vault, we have I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting some after. There's an AWA, and all of them, do quality work. They print quality books with quality stories. It's just a matter of, like in most cases, if it's your taste or not. But we live in a I mean, we're not even talking about some of the larger ones like Image and Boom and and whatnot, like with them putting out some.
There's
some
American.
really
There's
good
American
books.
Science. I think is the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what if that's the publisher. I think it's American Science and Mythology.
Okay, that's another one.
Or something like that. Yeah.
There's awesome.
That one has a Cremarian, and they're just all they do is reprinting like the updated same word for word of the original Edward Burrow Rice books of Conan stuff and the Barbarian, and then they're just putting art to it.
Right. Absolutely.
Like that's cool. Like,
Yeah, and Ash says, can't believe Skip forgot Bad Idea. Well, Ash, I didn't forget it, but Bad Idea is over, right? It's over, right? Right?
Well, usually you forget
even
Bad
though they're
Ideas.
Showing art from Megalith, and even though that Luis LaRosa is saying like Megalith is almost done, and Robert Venditti says that he finished, Robert Venditti and Matt Kitt talking about scripts that they finished for books that Bad Idea is going to publish. Bad Idea is over, right?
Right. All right. Let me pull up my next book here.
Yeah, what you got for number 3?
I'll tell you what I got. What I really want. Hold on.
All right. Well, tell me what you want. What you really want.
X-Men Legends #1.
Nice.
That's a Carrie Andrews cover. I'm not getting that one. The one I'm getting is right here. I'm on a Dan Durgan's kick ever since I found out that he does art. I forget because I never really read his original stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been enjoying his art. Whoops, that's too big. I don't know why I hate that when you click on things, it just
jumps to something else.
Well, no, it just like they upload a mega file instead of just keeping the same as it is. A little bit slightly bigger, but like. So yeah, I mean, I don't care for the original face. So Rager was talking about this last time when we showed it off, and like I'm not a fan of the classic look. I like this, like that's the '80s. Like the hot dude, that's like the pinnacle of like Wolverine costumes was the giant ears like Batman,
giant ears and the extra long claws.
Yes, extra long claws, man. The shine to them and all that stuff. Yes, the red and the yellow, the blue costume. Although I did like the brown and the black one, and the
that one remains to be my favorite one. The brown and the black.
I never cared for the Night Force one. Or not Night Force, but sorry, Night X-Force. That's what it was, yeah.
The X-Force one, the really dark
one.
Yeah,
the black and gray with the red eyes. I was just
I wasn't a big fan of it.
I'm like, is he vampire Wolverine now? Why does he have the red eyes?
Yeah, that one was always a little off-putting to me.
He's like, so I can see in infrared. I'm like, you have a nose. You can smell through concrete. You can smell things. You know if someone's there. What do you need infrared for?
Right.
Like you can follow things by your nose, bro. It's like Toucan Sam. You can sniff out a Fruit Loop 5 miles away. But like I said, this is a new spot in this. Usually Larry Hama was writing this. This is Roy Thomas taking over. And it's set before Giant Size X-Men #1. And then before X-Men brought Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler, and Thunderbird to the team, Roy Thomas redefined the Married Mutants in 2 seminal runs. And then now he says that now at long last he returns to Saga the X-Men to take us through the period between his run in GCX or GSX for the first time detailing Wolverine's government missions before his recruitment by Professor X, including an unrevealed detail on his battle with the Green Goliath Incredible Hulk in 181-82, an untold episode involving Beast and host of a missing mutants and the secret behind Wolverine's costume. So, like I said, I'm a fan of Roy Thomas, and I'm hoping that he can just knock it out of the park, and and that it's just I love it when these original creators come back, writers, and they just show why today's comic books writers can't hold a candle to them. So I'm not sure how many issues is gonna be. I think it's gonna be like an ongoing for a while. The last one went for 12, I think, or maybe it was a 20. I'm not sure. It's been a while, but yeah, this is what I'm looking forward to. Is this, and here's if you want to put the 125 variant, they have this one. Load. I mean, it's still kind of cool, but I mean, like, I don't want to pay $25 for a cover like that. If I'm gonna pay money for like a book cover like that, I'm gonna get the original if I can. I'll pay a lot more, but at least I'll have like the cooler art style.
Yeah, retain more value and such too.
Yeah.
I knew that it was I believed it was a good idea that Marvel decided to bring back a lot of their classic creators and allow them to kind of create like in between stories and stuff set in the some of the more popular eras of the past. But I have to say, Peter David has really gotten me like sucked in to more and more of those stories with like new Fantastic Four and stuff like that, Symbiote Spider-Man, like we were talking about not too long ago. I like the X-Men, but I've never been the biggest X-Men fan. Like I like the concept of mutants. I like the team and all that stuff, but I'm just not a huge X-Men fan, and I think that's why I'm not pulled into these ones in particular. But I appreciate like you and Zach letting me know about like the House of 92 effectively, and like how they're taking some of the stuff that I have enjoyed from some of the newer series, but like condensing it and simplifying it and streamlining it and making it really cool. I just love hearing that people are enjoying these stories from classic creators still. So that's
really cool. Same here. I'm an X-Men fan in the sense I like the cartoon show. I like some of the movies they had, but I never was like I like the concept. Same with you. I love the concept, the idea and stuff, but I never really got into actually reading all the way through. I read the Brood Saga. I read that parts. And I started reading the X-Men, the 90s series with Claremont and with Jim Lee. So I read that. But it's never been one of those things where like people who I guess people grew up with Fantastic Four are really into that, really into that series. Same with the X-Men and the Avengers. I was always the solo person. I read Spider-Man, or I was reading the Gambit solo series. I read a little bit of the Wolverine series. The team stuff just seemed like I was like, if I didn't care for like like more than half about the teammates on there, I just didn't appeal to me.
Yeah,
like Iron Man is cool when he's bantering with Steve. Now, if that's a thing they do, like in the older stuff all the time, where they're kind of like butting heads and just bantering back and forth, like they do in the movies, kind of like a playful banter, like that's cool. But I mean, I don't know. I just haven't read the right one that really grasped my attention and really got me into it, But
well, someone that can recommend something that would be kind of to your preferences, and Mr. Ash on Comics. So
I was gonna say you because you recommended Paradiso.
Well, if it's outside of superhero comics, then yeah, come talk to me. But if it's inside of superhero comics, specifically X-Men, Eric Breen and Ash on Comics are good people to
all right. Undead Quinn joining us today, and I think we get okay. Well, first before we get to his, I want to go out the number 3s up here. We guys looks like we have. Did you read off Zach's number 4?
I read off Zach's number 4, his 007 number 1.
All right, number 3 is Jurassic League number 4. He wants the Brett Booth variant cover. All right.
Oh, that's a nice little.
The funny thing about that, Zach, I sent Puppeteen the cover of that as and I said like choose from these for the top 5 for the thumbnail. He didn't go with your pick. I threw Jurassic League in there for him, and he just said no. So you'll have to go beat a puppet when you get back. All right, so let's go back up here. We have Ash on Comics. His number 3 is Samurai Doggy, number 1, because it has samurais and a dog.
Yeah, and I meant to comment on something. I meant to comment on that last night during you guys' stream. I think people should have no shame in just finding a genre that like works for you and just leaning into it. That's been some of like the sweetest parts of reading comics to me. So heck yeah, like if something's got a dog in it or anthropomorphized, I'm sure I said that wrong, pup, like if that's your jam, you go for it. For me, it's like coming of age stories for youth. If it's got like, if it's a band or if it's skateboarding or if it's like teens, you know, like rebelling and there's some comedy in it, I'm buying it and I'm probably going to like it. And I got no shame because I enjoy it so much. So yeah, as Ash continues to just buy comics that have animals doing things, I revel in it.
He's winning though, because he's finding something he can actually really wants to read. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Whether we like something that someone else likes is meaningless, because I mean, maybe for sales, because if nobody's really buying buying what you like, it sucks. And I've talked to Ash about this before. You're almost afraid to buy something because invest in something, because then it gets canceled. So I advise Ash, get better taste for books that will go ongoing. I'm just kidding.
You're not. No, I'm just kidding. You're kidding. I hope you're kidding.
I'm kidding about kidding.
I'm lost.
We all are,
aren't we? Absolution number 2 is my number 3.
All right,
but you'll always be number 1 in my heart. Absolution number 2. Artists, writers, and artisans. Oh my. AWA Upshot. We got Peter Milliken on the pen. We got Mike Deodato on the pencils, more like on the Photoshop, because he cannot stay away from photoshopping celebrity faces inside of his AWA comics. That's a whole nother live stream.
I want more LeBron James. Okay.
That was Kobe. Oh wait. I think he did put LeBron in a book. The last one was Kobe though. It was Kobe.
Yeah, it was Kobe. But I think he's had LeBron in there too.
Dude, I've seen so many different people. I had to double take and be like, no, he didn't. I'm like, no, yes, he did. But anyhow, aside from Mike Deodato photoshopping celebrity heads into his comics, really it's Peter Milligan. Peter Milligan is just a seasoned writer. Been in comics longer than I've been alive, and or almost as long as I've been alive. He's probably been writing as long as I've been alive, just maybe didn't get some notoriety until late 80s and started to get it early 90s. But it's just he executes it really well, and he puts the tension of a killer at some sort of societal deficit, needing to appease an audience and get enough of a rise from them and get enough of their vote of confidence in order to gain freedom, to gain absolution, for whatever it was. Well, we did get a little backstory of what it was, and I won't go into it, but for the thing that she needs to atone for. And I'm another genre that I'm a sucker for, femme fatales. Like I'm down with it. And it's funny that we're at this point where there's there's, I don't want to a bit of apprehension sometimes when certain people see female characters, because we're not sure if it's in earnest or if it's a hollow, a hollow attempt at, making a statement. And of course the contents within the actual book, are lacking. But Peter Milligan ain't new to this. So that if it's Peter Milligan doing it, you got a 98% chance of it being some sort of actual story. So that's why it was easy for me to get on board with this. I'm into femme fatales. For whatever reason, I really like Mike Deodato's proportions, though I hate the fact that he usually takes photographs and just puts some really bad kind of like filter behind it to hide the fact that he didn't actually draw the backgrounds. But I mean, I don't know, when you're 87 and still drawing monthly comic books, I can give you a little bit of a break here or there.
Is he really that old?
No, he's not that old.
I was gonna say, I was like, dang, that's impressive. If they're still hiring you.
No, I'm embellishing.
I know.
He's not that old, but I mean, hey, for him to still stay on top of monthly comics and put out all the karate videos that he puts out, I'm going to cut the man some slack. and
I mean,
say I'm enjoying this.
isn't the first time we've seen older creators, putting out books. Look at Mike Barron; he's still just going
Yeah.
strong. I mean, he may not be able to move as fast as he wants, but he still has the sharp process. He still has the stories by now.
Oh, for sure. No, I mean, I was trying to be endearing. I mean, you have to, I mean, granted, comics are comics. So some creators work until their, elder years, simply for financial reasons. But when that's not the case, or let's say it's a mixture of, they need the money and they still have a passion for comics, I can do nothing but commend them, for that. Being an artist in a sense, it reminds me of like directors, like some directors really hit their prime after they're like 40 and 50, you
years
got
old.
your Spielbergs and,
Yeah, especially with the genre of what the crowd audience likes now is different now. And that's something that's really great in their wheelhouse. They excel at, where the other style, they're trying to just stay afloat. And this now, yeah. So
yeah, but yeah, the James Camerons and all of those peeps. I mean, yeah, directors are skewing younger these days, but man, like regardless of Mike Deodato taking some shortcuts just to make sure he stays on time and him not being maybe as fast as he used to be, he could teach younger artists.
The artist's still good. My thing is that I think it's kind of sucks for the artist who will put out a good art and then be paired with somebody who just wants to. Who sucks at writing,
Yeah,
that's a downfall of like being an artist. It's like you're like, okay, crap, I'm with this guy. It's like being gym class. I'm stuck with this kid, really.
That's who you got partnered with. Your grade's gonna tank.
It's unfair.
Better count that money. But anyway, in that case, no, much respect to both of them. Peter Milligan and Mike Deodato. They worked together earlier in their career, and both of them have kind of come full circle. And they made note of that in the back of the book, and it was sweet to kind of see how they spoke about each other and how they both felt reinvigorated to put their best foot forward for this story. And I can say I do feel some inspiration and a little bit of it. It feels like a little bit of a younger artist and a younger writer than what their actual age is. Which even if it felt like they were older, that's fine. Just be authentic to the story. But it's a bang boom pow book with the femme fatale that's got a nice modern twist on it. It's like The Running Man, but for 2022. I'm on board.
Streaming Running Man.
Yeah.
Now I gotta quickly say that this book it's on my pull list. Despite the first issue not telling me what happened and how did she get the mohawk. What's the decision behind that?
You are dead set on this mohawk. I had no idea that you had such an affinity for hairstyles.
I just thought it was so funny. It's like they chose the mohawk. It's like, and they couldn't address it. It's like, go read the issue. And it says I did twice. It doesn't say anything. I like this when they don't respond back.
That's in the prequel, okay? Just give them some time.
I know.
It's going to be in volume 2.
Mike Deodato really likes women with mohawks.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's all you got to tell me.
Editor's note: Mike Deodato really likes women with mohawks.
Like
Axel Alonso.
It's like that's all you got to tell me. It's like it's just so weird to go from like she's a normal long, pretty blonde hair like that, and they shave it because they do surgery, but she grows it out, and as a form of resistance to the government, yeah, I got a mohawk now. It's like, okay, that's what you're going for, cool. But I mean, like, if there's, I mean, like, I'm just wondering, like, how does someone like go like, I'm gonna wear a mohawk now? Like,
well, RDV, I see where this problem is. You just need to liberate yourself via a mohawk. So just go ahead, or or even don't even start off there. If you're a little timid because you want to keep the sides, do a reverse mohawk. So that way, when you put your hat on, no one can really know. But start off with the reverse mohawk.
No, I'm getting a mohawk going here.
Oh, yeah, we'll see. That's not the same.
I prefer mullets, bro. They're in.
Are they? Yeah, I guess they probably are in.
Yeah, they're in. Flynn. All right.
That's fair. Anyway, that's my number 2. What you got for number 2?
All right, this is my number 2. But before I can talk about this, I want to go back up to Undead Quinn. His number 5 was Unnatural Blue Blood. Number 2, his number 4 was Stonehenge, the Dragon and the Boar. Number 2, his number 3 is DCeased or the Ungods homage covers or homage or homage for those who like that word.
Homage.
Homage.
There you go.
Homage.
I like that one. Homage. That's the one. That's the proper way.
That's the Rob Liefeld version. All right. All right. So I think we got else covered for their number 3 picks.
Yep.
All right. So this is cover. I'm getting in the variant cover. I've been liking this so far. The last issue made me question a little bit because they decided to throw Peggy Carter in there. And it's like, I just don't care for Peggy Carter. And this kind of, I'm getting flashbacks to reading Captain America by Takahisi or whatever, something Coates, whatever his name is, Takahiti or Tiki Man Coates. I don't care. His writing sucked. And you heard about the Daughters of Liberty thing. This story is very almost going in that direction a little bit. Steve Rogers tracks the mysterious organization only known as the Outer Circle, which basically we learned that they hired all their goons. They have Hydra, they have AIM soldiers, and they have former SHIELD people working for them. They're this like the secret organization that no one's never known about. He said so he's tracking him down, and with the lab that's in the heart of a volcano, where the original creator of the Shield, not Tony Stark's dad, and the government. This is the original creator, left behind a dire message. But the Outer Circle isn't going to let the information go without a fight. Who or what is the redacted? And will Steve survive long enough to find out? Meanwhile, Bucky Barnes finds himself, this is where I get triggered, in a high-stakes battle with none other than the Dryad, whatever herself, Peggy Carter. They're playing poker.
Why are you so triggered about?
Because they basically turned her into Sharon Carter, who was in the Falcon and the Snowman show, where she was on the Madripoor playing poker under or whatever she was doing undercover. And this is where they're kind of making Peggy Carter to be like that kind of person. She's like a spy working undercover, and Barnes comes in, is like, I don't give a shit what you're doing. You're gonna help me out. It's just like, why are we? If this feels like we're taking plots from different things and kind of working together, it's still better than the Travasity that was Takahisi Coates is rooting, and like his stuff, and then Nick Spencer's Secret Empire, all the crap. This is by the best Captain America we've had in a while, but I would not say it's as great as Captain America of the heyday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Breen. Just saw that. So I just got back. Why does that chick have a mohawk? See, I'm not the only one.
Breen. Stop. Don't feed into RDV's mohawk obsessions.
I'm just messing around the whole mohawk thing, because people say like, oh, that chick's got blue hair. Oh, I hate the hairstyle. People are triggered by that. The shaved side. Everyone has to have that.
Oh, the shaved
so
side.
So I just like to poke fun at that she has the mohawk.
Oh, I know. I'm playing along with your bit with you. I love it. Yeah, I don't know what can I say about this? As far as like the kind of making her like her, Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who was the original spy espionage person?
Yeah, because
runs in the family. I don't know. To me, sometimes you can definitely look at it like, they're swiping a plot from another thing, or you can look at it like they're paying homage or doing a Esther Ag, from that series. Sometimes that they do this. It depends on how you look at it. Now, I couldn't tell you because I ain't never read the damn thing, and kind of, even though Captain America is my favorite one, I just haven't heard enough.
I got 6 issues into that series, and then they revealed Peggy Carter's alive, and then she's the reason why Steve was allowed to be Captain America. And I was just like, "Are you freaking me? That kidding me? Like the Daughters of Liberty.
Yeah, that you know what, that writing plot point probably would not be satisfying to
If
me.
it was an Elseworlds thing, sure, but not the main Captain America book that's being put out. Like that's what triggered me the most with that crap. Like if you were saying it's an Elseworlds story and then he didn't create this, that's okay. That's alternate universe, but they were trying to push it that Peggy Carter. They're trying to make a Peggy Carter thing because Haley Atwell. So they're like, Marvel really wants to have. We brought Peggy Carter back from the dead.
Well, she's already been a thing. I mean, they gave her a damn show.
I know, but they're really trying to push her in the comic books now and everything. She's Agent Carter or Captain Britain, whatever,
Captain Carter.
Yeah, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's just
Captain Britain is a completely different thing.
I don't know.
They make her Captain Britain though.
Is Captain Britain even around anymore?
Braddock.
The last I heard, Captain Britain was like either it was a Psylocke or it was her sister, her brother.
Well, she's not Psylocke anymore.
See, it's like I can't keep track anymore.
In the way that would try to trigger you the most.
I can't keep track of who's what, and like, I mean, Captain Britain was kind of pushed aside, and then they brought him back, and then he wasn't important until he became a girl.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, the British invasion was over, and the only person I guess that really gave a damn to do much with them was Jonathan Hickman a little bit.
Give me the French invasion, okay? I want all the French superheroes now.
You don't want that.
Baytrock the Leaper is now, and the French Avengers.
Catch my croissant.
Croissant boy.
Croissant boy. You know what? I'm glad that it is high enough on your list. I'm also dubious of like writing teams that seem to not be able to like separate themselves. It's one thing when like, oh, so and so and so and so came together to like write this story together. It's another thing where it's like the only time I see Jackson Lanzig writing a book is if Colin Kelly's attached at the hip and vice versa.
So the upside of this story though is that these writers, Jackson Lanzing and Colin Kelly, have been writing together for the past 14 years. Their series, they've been working on some other stuff. They're writing the Batman Beyond Nero Gotham, the one that's over there. They've also done some other books too. They've been actually like bringing characters back and actually getting them back to their original roots, like with this Captain America. Like it's been a good series. I think they also wrote the Captain America Iron Man team up book that was a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like these guys have been doing pretty well. So like I'm not getting like see, who knows? Sharon Carter's in here. No, sorry, Agent Carter or Peggy Carter. There's too many Carters now. Next, we'll have Jimmy Carter join up.
Yeah, but that's what it's like. All they're missing is Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter,
welcome back, Carter. That's a different.
Jimmy Carter is going to be revealed to be her father.
Oh gosh, don't do it.
I don't know. It's like I said.
Technically, wouldn't that actually make her a daughter of liberty, or at least more?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm just hoping it turns out to be a better, because like I just get flashbacks to reading that Taka-Isi Coates over, and just like how they just made her just an unsufferable. Just I can't say the word on here.
Ash on Comics says Captain Carter is the total bestest, and he means that. There was no sarcasm there. So
Ash is never sarcastic. Oh, he'd be called sarcastic on comics.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's very true.
But anyway, we've been on this comic book for too long. Let's go over to yours.
Yeah, this is the part where we do the
recap.
Yeah, recap. Okay, so my mouse, I turned it off. Number 5. Well, what was number 5? Not to look at that.
That's our writing down.
You're smart man. Usually I take notes, but I didn't this time. Number 5, Astronaut Down. Number 4, There's Something Wrong with Patrick Todd. Number 3, Blade Runner. Yes. Black Lotus. Number 2, Absolution. Number 2, and by number 1, you'll always be my number 1.
Yeah.
Share my screen again. I wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Number 1 is I'm officially ready now. Mindset. Number 2, Vault Comics, written by Zach Kaplan. We were just talking about last night. Art by John Pearson. He is a family member of mine because he has the last name of my family. Yo, this book is nuts. Issue number 1 was pretty wild. And for all of us who are in the social media age, we all engage with it in some way, shape, or form. I really like the premise that they're taking on how much influence do the platform of influencers have on us, and what can be done if we come to find out that it's not just the actual people that have the influence, but some sort of scientific haze, hex, or algorithm. But like the concept alone is really good, but the way that they execute the story and roll it out, it does feel like, feels like actual people going through it. And I can't speak enough on John Pearson's art. John Pearson's art is awesome and it's incredible. He did some covers actually for Paradiso, because we were talking about that earlier. So he's in with the Dan Waters, Rom V, the whole White Noise crew. He's in with those folks, but I love his covers. I love his art. It's kind of similar to, the closest thing I would say would be Martin Simons, who James Tynion works with on the Department of Truth series, which I've really been enjoying. And John Pearson actually filled in on an issue, and man, didn't miss a beat, and almost felt like Martin Simons just kind of like hijacked his body, hacked his body, and still wrote the comic while he was writing the issue that was come out ahead of it. But after Awkward Dreamer Ben Sharp accidentally stumbles upon a real-life mind control signal, he and his friends set out to experiment on its mechanics and test its limits. But as they flirt with absolute control and invade Silicon Valley's glitziest parties, they're forced to ask just how far each will go with their newfound power. And I'm just going to tell you, someone died in issue number 1. So yeah, if you want to throw in, if you want to make this like The Social Network, but even maybe a little more ominous, that is definitely what this feels like, and it's pretty dope.
That's cool. I mean, I forgot that Ash reminded me last night that Zach Kaplan is around the road Eclipse.
Yes, he did. I have not read that, but I do remember seeing his name attached.
Yeah, fun book. I read all the way toward the end. It was actually really cool. I like the premise. I sad didn't get a TV show.
Oh, did it get optioned?
I don't know, but I mean, it should have. Like,
okay.
I was that kind of cool. I'm really grateful for this dystopia futures. I love those, whether like they're the best or not. Like, I just love that genre.
Yeah, I'm big on it as well. Zach Kaplan had that other one too. It was called something Future. I don't know. I'll look it up as we're talking. But yeah.
Once Future? Was it Once Future?
Not Once. Join the Future. Yeah, he did it with Peter Kowalski, and my buddy Brad did the colors on this one. Came out in 2020.
I'll have to check that out, because that was the new one we were talking about a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I like Kowalski's art, and I love my buddy Brad's colors. And hey, Hassan Otsmain Al-How did the lettering, so it's good, because that's the first thing you need to look at when you look at a comic, if it's going to be good or not. You look at the letter, right? RDV.
Yep. Look at the lettering, right. And you look at who it's made by.
Yeah, that's an afterthought. Like, who wrote it and did the art?
Yeah,
that comes later.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna count down before we get to mine. I'm gonna read off everybody's stuff. Undead Quinn, his number 2 was Ghost Rider, Vengeance Forever. Number 1. We got here Ash and Comics, his number 2 is Starhenge, not Strangehenge. Starhenge number 2 by Image. Zach sees number 2. Yeah, that's right. He was twinning with me at Captain America. Sentinel Liver number 3. All right. My number, I'll count down mine. My number 5 was Vampirilla Fairy Tales. And then we have DCeased, War of the Undead Gods, whatever. And then we have X-Men Legends number 1, Captain America, which I just did. And then my number 1 is a book we talked about before, Blade Runner Black Lotus.
Ah.
I am just a fan of the show. I mean, it's kind of cool to see that they're continuing the story because I wanted more of the show. I wanted the second season, even though it kind of wrapped it up. I was like, there was still some unleft stuff I wanted to see done because I love Blade Runner. It could be the worst story. I just love that world, you know.
Yeah,
Like I want
I'm
more
with you.
cyberpunk, man. Give me more of that stuff.
Yes.
And look at the bike she's right. That's the motorcycle she gets. That's the one she gets in the show. She gets from one of the guys that helps her out. I'm like, it's like I just love the technology and to see it on TV. Like I was watching it. I mean, not the big screen, but like I was watching it. Well, I guess 65-inch is a big screen for me. You know, it's not the huge screen, no, but like I just love the animation. It was computer graphic, it was CGI, but it was actually like good computer graphics. It was like watching like PS5 graphics, you know. And it was done pretty well. You had Jessica Hedwig was the main actress. This doing the voice acting. That's why if you look at her face in some of the comic books, it looks just like her. Yeah, it's said, and it's continuing the series, and it's by Titans, you know. So I'm thinking like it's gotta be good. I'm hoping it's gonna be good. It's just one of those books that's like it's just normally I don't know. I guess it's just I've been on a Blade Runner kick too, even without the series. I was reading Blade Runner 2019, 2029, which I like to call I like to call it Blade Runner 10 years later.
I like that name.
And then the other one I was reading was Origins. Origins, sadly, I still have to get issue 12. I haven't had a chance. I don't think I read it yet. I mean, I've had opportunities to read it through the high seas, but I've been waiting for to get that last issue, collect it. My store didn't have it. But yeah, like I said, I just love this world. And then, dude, I'm playing Cyberpunk again. You know, playing the Cyberpunk 2077 or 2037, whatever it's called. I've been playing that again, and just like now they're talking about RoboCop coming out next. I'm just like, dude, just give me more. It's just like I'm done with the super stuff. Just give me more like Cyberpunk stuff. That's what I want. You know, give me I love the open world of Cyberpunk. I want more of that. Give me more DLCs, downloads. Just keep updating that. Yeah, I see you got it. You got 2 copies?
No, I got the special edition one where you got like the metal case or whatever.
That's cool.
I only paid $10 for it too.
That's cool art on it too as well.
Yeah,
all right.
Pretty dope. Yeah, I played it for a total of like 50 minutes so far.
Here, then let me do this. How do I get back to the normal thing? Nope, not that. There we go.
Oh,
weird. The StreamYard options.
So many options.
That's I know. Cool. It's like here. It's like I don't need skip at all. I just have this.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing the news, that's kind of cool. Pops up, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. I mean, so that's gonna be my number one. Quickly go look at some of the people's and my peeps in the chat. We got Zach. His number one is DCeased. All right.
Very nice, twin.
All right. What else we got here? Anybody else got a number one here? Oh yeah, my number one. Zach won't read. Oh, let's see what it is. Does he list it? There it is. Prodigy. Smack my bitch up. Number 2. Oh, it's gonna. I think that's, and then Gwen has a number 1 too. I think did I scroll up too far? There it is. Parker Girls. I was wondering if anybody was gonna get that. I looked at that. It looked kind of interesting, but it's not. I wanted to hold off and see if anybody else was gonna read it, and then ask them about it. Yeah. And Ash says, I'm surprised that Parker Girls did not make it on Skip's list.
Yeah, I've never read any of Terry Moore's books, so guess I gotta start somewhere.
All right. RBD, there is a David Mack Marvel comic run that might grab your attention. It is connected to the world of Blade Runner called Electric Ant. I think it's called Pick It Up and Check It Out. All right, thanks for the recommendation. The only one I know of, like, and I think it's going on right now is the Erica Larson one. I think I haven't. Yeah, so it must be an older one. All right, so yeah, that's what I got for our top 5 here. Some other books that are on here too that are coming out. We look through this kind of on the Ashton Comics channel. Go check out his 4-hour live stream. Just check out the last half an hour where we look at the books. Yeah, there's some stuff coming out this week. Venom, Lethal Protector. Been enjoying that. It's been pretty cool by David Micklin.
Galini.
Yeah, Predator was Zach. I thought Predator was Zach's number 1. Did he change?
It was his number 5.
Oh, that's
Predator
what it was. Okay.
was his number 5.
All right. I thought it was his number 1 for some reason. I don't know why, but
No.
I think that's
New Ghost Rider number 1.
Ed Brisson. That's what it is. Yeah, writing this. Yeah. Hopefully it's good. I mean, Ed Brisson he's done some good stuff. I've never heard anybody complain about Ed Brisson.
Yeah, not too much.
And it's a 6-part thing. All right, and then we have there's a new Punisher again coming out. Anybody getting that? King Spawn looks like the clown's back. I'm not sure what that is.
Perhaps. Yeah, it looks like the clown.
Yeah, from the movie or comics, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and
what else we got?
8 Billion Genies is a book that have you looked at that at all? 8 Billion Genies?
No, I heard about the concept, and I'm just not a Charles. That's Charles Soule, right?
Yep.
I can't stand his writing. He just bores me to death. You know what I mean? If anybody's going to put me to sleep faster than Scott Snyder, it's going to be Charles Soule. Charles Soule's comics are the equivalent of eating a stack of like printer paper with no seasoning or sauce at all. That's how I view his writing.
All right. Tell me how you really feel.
I think I just did.
All right. Then we have Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor. So is Jane Thor or is she? It's whatever. Captain Carter. All right.
Ghost Rider, man. Ghost Rider. Everybody's been liking that. Ben Percy. It's a new number 1. So, Marvel's going to get some sales off of it because it's got a number 1 on it.
That is cool art, though, on the cover, though. Him, this everything here. It's cool art. Who is the cover artist for this? Bjorn Berens. All right. Joe Kubert's got a variant cover, too.
Juan Jose Ripe on the art. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, Lorez. Here it is. Adam and Joe did the cover here. Is it 2? Right. Oh, look at that. Wow. Some hot love in there.
Yeah, literally.
All right. I can't wait to see Sapluski goes. I think that's when Marvel will actually get better.
Well, I mean, Axel Alonso left and got replaced by CB, and it got better than it was when Axel was there. So I guess I mean,
if we keep replacing them, maybe it'll get better. But
it got a little better than from last time. I mean, at least he put the characters back to who they actually were.
True.
Like Thor again, Tony was Tony again.
I just feel like we could do better.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. We can definitely do better, but to your point, it could also get worse.
Last thing, Caseta left, so I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop and just be like, you want them back. It's like
you might. With these things, you never know until like 6 months to a year out because there's already so many comics already in the canon that are going to come out anyway. You really don't know until they start to make changes later on. So yeah, but in another Caseta's been gone for close to 2 months now. So in another 4 months, we'll start to feel those effects a little bit. We'll see. He hasn't been replaced yet either, but
a book I do recommend. It's and people are like, oh, I don't want to read this. It's they're changing it over. Todd Knox art on this, and then Gwen Stacy right here. And then you also have Crystal's. I believe it's Crystal's Gage writing this. It collects the 3 issues that they did that before they got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, it's Crystal's Gage. The art was good on this, on the interior. You know, but takes it back to the original stuff. The only thing that's different is that it's just before Spider-Man is Spider-Man. It's Peter Parker hasn't been bitten by the spider yet. Mm-hmm. So you get to see more about, learn about the unknown history of Gwen Stacy. You know, while her dad is just becoming like the captain of the police force. So, and plus, I love Todd Knock's art. Whenever you get Todd Knock art drawing, you know, Cheesecake, it's great. But
I mean, hey, it's Christos Gage. It's got a chance.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I read all 3. I enjoyed it. But sadly, not everybody is a fan of it. But yeah, I said I'm always looking at books, you know, that are outside the. I look at that basically being an Elseworld, because in canon history we have no idea what happened before Peter got bit. You know, all we know is that what happens afterwards, and that's all that really matters. So I look at it as an Elseworld. Wonder Woman. I was looking at this and like that's actually like a interesting cover. It almost looks like a Frank Cho cover, little bubble and stuff. I was looking at it, I was like, it's Jordi Belair, who's usually, isn't she normally an artist though? Or maybe she is a writer.
Jordi Belair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Multifaceted. And writing it with the help of no, not the help, excuse me, because it looks like it's a multiple person book. But yeah, Jordi Belair is known for art, but you know, hey, people get multifaceted in comics.
It looks like it's an oversized issue. Or at least we have Jose Luis Garcia Lopez in here doing some penciling, and Manuela Lupacino, both phenomenal artists. Can't say much about Becky. I don't really read her stuff, but I've been told by a lot of people that it sucks compared to the original stuff. You know, that could be true, or just, you know, like I said, we all have vast different opinions. So. Like I said, it's Wonder Woman's always one of those characters, things I want to like read about her stuff, but it's like, it's hard for me to get into it. And now depending on, because lately, a lot of, if you try to, I jump into a lot of the newer stuff, it's hit or miss, you know, and depending if they're putting in woke or not, but, so it looks like there is a backup story in this. It says, what does it say here? Belair and I can't Ganachu and Good are doing the backup. So that means does that mean Lupacino and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez are taking turns penciling?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that'd be one of the things where you have to like flip through to kind of really.
Yeah, it's weird though. Yeah.
Hey, Tamara's a great colorist too.
Yeah, Tamara's pretty good too. So yeah, like I said, I might pick this up, you know, just to browse it, looking at it, but like I'm gonna go back. That's my next thing after Post Crisis DC. I'm going back and gonna read the John Byrne, the '90s run of Wonder Woman. But
okay,
but yeah, but yes, we were talking about this last night. Future State's still going.
Is it really?
Future State
Gotham. Oh, Gotham, the Future State Gotham. Yeah, that's the one that's still going, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, I forgot. Why don't they just stop trying to make Fetch a thing and just let Future State die? But I guess it's the future, right? Like that's what
yeah.
You know,
and
G7.
Yeah. There's all these little miniseries, like this 3 of 8 or whatever, of Nubia, and then featuring guest starring Wonder Girl. That's not Wonder Girl. It's a Wonder Girl, but she's not the Wonder Girl. Like they should call her something else. Where's Cassie? Is Cassie not longer a Wonder Girl? Like this is what I don't understand, and this is where I sympathize with Ash and his hate for legacy characters. It's like Aqualad. We've never heard from him anymore. He's been killed off or kicked off, and he's just gone. We have
Jackson Hyde.
Yeah. Like, in order to bring someone in, they have to kill somebody off. That's what sucks.
At least in their mind, yeah.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Legacy characters become a mess, but comics are a mess. So I just look at them as being married to each other. You got messy comics continuity, and then you got, but which is funny because when we talk about like messy comics continuity and legacy characters, notice that we don't like that stuff. I mean, granted, they're smaller titles, but you don't really hear people complaining about Archie continuity very much. And that's been ongoing for a super long time. But I guess maybe it's the sheer volume of superhero comics and how many events and all that other stuff that has happened where it's even messier just because of the volume of the schlock. I'm not sure.
No, I'm not. This looks like it might be an ongoing or one shot, but this is I think I love these time periods. Like Scott Snyder, say what you want about that American Vampire. They had the 50s version. They went through the decades. And it was just kind of cool
concept. That's a cool idea.
The time period stuff like this. So, and with Hellboy, you can just set him whatever age he was found. Maybe he was found in the 1800s, and he's just been going through because he's immortal. Just goes through the thing, like that's kind of I love concept like that. We can have a person who is like Highlander, like that was a comic book series for a little bit, but like that should be an ongoing thing. Why isn't that an ongoing thing? But apparently I guess it's not popular enough. But I mean, to me, an immortal, like that's kind of why I like Berserker. He's an immortal person. He cannot die. And he just, he's gone through all this stuff, and you get to follow him as he go through his past and just see everything he's accomplished or people he's known. He's watched civilization rise and fall and create and stuff, referred to as a god. Like I love that concept. Like that's kind of cool because it's outside the norm of this me versus you, superhero versus villain, Right. I like concept. That's why I've always liked the movie Highlander for that concept. Yeah, we don't talk about the second one. We kind of skipped that one, but yeah, I love the concept where you can just go to any time period in the book, and choose a story. You're not limited to like ones like Avengers right now. If you want to read the current Avengers, they're in this world. Like West Coast Avengers went back to like all the way back, and they kept it in the continuity as far as with Tut and like all they did the Egyptian stuff. They went, you just got the Rawhide Kid section, the Civil War kind of era. Like I like it when you can actually just bring it back to like different settings, time periods, because I don't know, it's just nostalgia, I guess, right? You think about it, like I would love to read a series that takes place in the 70s. There was an ABC show that was on a couple of years back. They had like a cop who woke up, he hit his head or something, he woke up, and he was back in the 1970s. And he had to like try to figure out how to get back to the future. Yeah, like I love time travel kind of stories like that, in a sense like that. But I don't know. I guess it's a dying trope. But
yeah, I don't think it's a dying trope. I think it's just we see more people going forward into the future than we see people, or like when people go back to the past, they just usually don't go that far back these days. But maybe you should read Paper Girls.
You know what? I'm actually thinking about jumping on it after I finish Paradiso. So just give me an hour to finish up Paradiso.
Yeah, dude, you'll only need 10 minutes to read all 30 issues of Paper Girls. You are like a vacuum, bro. You just like inhale comics.
Johnny 5 need input. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, Vankman 7 over there. But on a note, I kind of have to go.
All right. Yeah, I was just looking into what else coming out, but yeah, we'll end it right here. Oops. Here.
Bye, comic book friends. Rhaegar, thank you for joining us.
Yep.
Undead Quinn, Ash on Comics, Twin, Maranya, Tehilum, Breen. Did we miss anybody? Did we leave a man behind?
I don't know.
We did not. Okay, that was everybody. Everybody, always thank you. Thank you for joining us and being active in the chat and joining in. Always makes things a little more interesting. RDV bores me sometimes, so I need chat to kind of keep me going.
I wish Zach would interact with the chat when I'm talking sometimes, when it's my turn. I appreciate that you do that. You interact with the chat because I try to do that when Zach does it, but Zach only talks for like 5 seconds and like in his books, and then it's like I'm back to be like it's my turn again. So he's like,
Well, you know,
he's like,
I'm
I
the
like
more
this book.
talkative
Let's
one.
go.
Yeah, he's more concise and well thought out. I ramble and babble and try to hold on to the coattails of my illusions. But yeah, bye lurkers. Yeah, there's lurkers too. We appreciate you, all the bots that joined us today. Thank you for not spamming your sexy adult websites so much. We really appreciate it. It
Yes.
felt a little weird to not have so many sex bots in the chat, but we know you're lurking and lurking and lubing.
He. It's funny you say that, and I bring up Zach. It's like, okay. No, Zach was already replaced. He's not being replaced. He was replaced. He knows this. When I can upgrade to a sophisticated, gentleman like Skip, who's got the indie ear to the ground. He knows what's going on in the indie world comic books. He's a resource.
If you get replaced by your twin, is it really getting replaced? Aren't you like the same people anyway? We're just the same people.
Oh, you're so kind. You're so modest. You just don't want to admit that you're better than him. But oh well.
You're only as good as your twin. That's what they say, right? They don't say that, but I'm saying that.
Yeah. If I find out I have a twin, and I'm gonna be wondering who's cloning Venkmans.
Well, you'll have to read the next Jonathan Hickman event to find that out. when it's the Hawks and Pox Omega, we will find out. It'll be like, and the real enemy was the cloned Venkmans.
Oh no!
You thought Skip is Serena. That's what. So does that mean I'm retiring now since Serena announced that she's retiring?
Well, I hope you're not going after any married men.
I can't make any promises. It's all about that bank account, man. It's 2022 and this inflation's no joke.
Oh, yes, and we have 2 Ashes.
Oh no, it was clone Ash all along.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by ash holes. And then
good one. Zinger. We're gonna end the stream on that one.
Zach has been ginger sided.
It's a real thing.
Gingers
are dying at an alarming. Gingers are being replaced.
Hey, we gotta check those boxes, okay?
Yeah, gotta have a diversity hire on here.
There's a reason why you never see Skip standing. He's in a wheelchair.
It's true. I actually am in a wheeled chair.
You see,
so it's kind of accurate. You're not wrong there.
yes. On that note, for those that are watching us, we thank you for showing up, and then we ask us if you want to, you can help out the channel. We got a little Ko-Fi is going to show up at the end here, but you don't have to donate, but we do appreciate donations. Helps goes to helping the channel out, helps us going to we read comic books here, so it goes towards paying off the yearly app, and also if you haven't already done so, click like or click dislike. Leave a comment. Nobody seems to want to leave comments anymore. I mean, if you're really pissed off, you're more than welcome to leave a comment, because I love interaction after the video is done, as well, to talking back and forth, get the conversation going. Also, if you haven't subscribed, do so, please. And share out the video. Word of mouth. That's the best thing you can do to help a small little channel like this. As I said, we're not really in here to try to be as professional as some of the other ones. We're not here for the money, but I mean, we do like to have fun in here. So whatever you can do to help keep the lights on, and it's helping just showing up, man. Just leaving your guys like your top 5 picks in the comment section is awesome too, because then I can go over that, and then together we'll get on Thursday nights when we do the best of the week. I'll go over and see if any of your books from your top 5 make it into your best of the week, or even my best of the week. All right,
even my best of the week.
All right, we're skipping out later. Thank you for showing up, and have a good night.